your coach Keya on the Be Happier podcast at Crossroad Conversations. This is raw, real, unedited, unfiltered, a conversation between two colleagues who are on a similar path and similar personal missions. We both are coaches, therapists, and we love to take our clients on a journey of healing the inner child. That's what we are best at. It's all about you connecting with your higher self, which is truly your inner self, your core, the reason you came on this planet. So without further ado, I have with me my colleague and friend, Joy Markwell, and she is going to say in her own words whatever it is that she feels like in this moment to introduce herself. Go ahead, Joy.
Good morning, Keya. Lovely to be here with you. Yeah, really lovely. So yes, nice to connect. And I do want to say I love the name with the crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful. So I am a healer coach. I've been in the arena for many years now, started in my early 20s as an energy healer. And it's sort of converted as the years go by. It's changed. I now work online globally with women, with conscious women that are awakening, that are struggling with their emotions. So they're hitting a wall with their emotional body and in conflict. A lot of my clients are divine mamas. And there's sort of two streams. There's divine mamas and there's the women that are actually struggling in transitioning out of difficult relationships. But both actually come back to the emotional body and getting some clarity as to why they're reacting the way they're reacting and coming back to more joy, peace, and ultimately self-love. So like you mentioned, the inner child healing, of course, it always goes back to the past when stuff gets stuck. And so we, I have a process that they go through to get back to that, to come back to their beautiful selves. So my passion is inspiring women to feel empowered. It really brings me joy when they have that liberation breakthrough. Like I'm jumping in the seat when I see them come back to themselves and they are feeling liberated again from the thought pattern that they realize is no longer is what is actually affecting their behavior, and they can break it once they see it. So yeah, that's
lovely.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, yes, it's amazing. It's so challenging to take the infinite and bring it into the finite and have to speak the words, cast our spell and describe it and explain it. And when you said that when you were in your 20s, you became a healer. This is my journey. I know I was born. I know you were born a healer. And tell us a little bit about how you came into this awakening, into this awareness that this is why you are here.
Thank you. Big question, isn't it? Because there's so many awakenings along the way, isn't there, when you've sort of been in the arena for me, it's been over 30 years. And of course, there were sort of, as a child, there was an access to knowing and knowledge that I had, which most of us born as healers do have, but it was not, the environment I was in rejected it. So I learned to suppress it. So in that suppression, over the years through my teens, I struggled a lot because I, of course, it was that she was wanting to come through. I was very blessed. I gave birth to a beautiful daughter when I was 21, and it was actually the awakening through that birth. I had an incredible birth with her. She was a blessing for me. And it was during the birth that I had the experience of connecting with another healer that helped me to really connect with my power in the birth. So my power, I woke up to who I was. So when I came out of that birthing, that literal birthing process, I began to just attract and seek out healers. And what came to me was a wonderful energy healer that activated me in that modality. Yeah. So she was my very first, and I'm very grateful for her now because she taught me the real basic principles that still count today. So yeah, so that was the activation, the beginning for me, and then it was a journey of just just pulling to me all the teachers I could to realign with who I was and to heal my emotional trauma and baggage, so that I
Mm-hmm.
could step more into who I am and remember who I was, and that's 10 books. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is all in the remembering. Even Buddha said this, that it is all in the remembering because you already are. It's just we forget, we get caught in the minutiae and in the earthly dramas of this three-dimensional existence that we forget who we are. And
Totally.
these layers of wounds, which is some personal, but a lot generational and through past
Yes.
lives. It's
Yes.
community. It might not even be something your great 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 grandmother went through, but
Yes.
her best friend went through, or someone in her village went through, and that affected her so much that she made it her own and she passed it down through the generations. So
Yes.
it is
Yes.
very hard to explain, but so
Yes.
easy to experience once we
Yes.
are open to it.
Yes. Yes. I love that you brought that in. You're speaking my language with the generational healing. And it's when you actually go back to that story, get the learning, release yourself from it, and come back to the present. We don't need to get stuck in the story. But it's so powerful to see when I watch the women that I work with realize it's not even in this time. It's a story that's come from a great grandmother. It's in the lineage that's been passed down, and that is liberating when you can free yourself from that
Mhm.
pattern, and it frees
Yes,
them, doesn't it? Mm.
yes. And that is why us, the brave ones, the healers who are born into a lineage, is to unburden our ancestors. So when we heal not only ourselves, but everyone who came before us and even the future.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
our children and our children's children and the unborn ones. And you might be like, oh, but I don't have any kids, so I guess who is it? It's
Yes.
whoever you touch.
Yes. 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 Exactly. Exactly. And it's I mean, I see with the women that don't have children that I work with, it's healing the child within themselves as well, and
Hmm.
healing the relationships with their parents and understanding what they came in to learn in that family dynamic, so they can be better in a better version of themselves in their relationship, in their current relationship, and yes, touching their nieces and their nephews and going out into the world with their work. So
Yes, and if they are teachers, then they're students. If they are a coach, then it is the little kids they are coaching. And when I say little, it doesn't have to be 5-year-old.
yes,
It can be a
no,
35-year-old because
yes,
I'm an
yes,
elder. So
yes,
anyone younger
yes,
than me. And
yes,
so it is. And when you came and I saw that key, and I'm like, it is the key. And someone needs to hold you and let you know, not through physical words, but
yes,
energetically, that this is who you are. And suddenly you awaken within you the power to hold space for others. So it's like, even I had this experience. Somebody helped me. And in that process, I had a car accident which had rolled into a ditch. And I don't go to Western doctors because I do not believe in symptomatic relief. And I went to this lady and I just lay on her table and she just put her hands on me and suddenly something lifted.
yes, yes,
It was
yes,
so visceral that I'm
yes,
like, this is it. I know there is something and I have
yes,
been floundering here and there, but now I'm claiming it. So,
yes, yeah, beautiful.
so tell us a little bit, because I want whoever is listening in, there will be hundreds and thousands of people listening in. I want you to give us a little bit of synopsis of how you take people through the process when they come to you.
So I love the fact that you brought in table work, because I locally I can do that,
Hmm.
but at the moment online, when I work online,
Hmm.
I have a program that I bring my women into, and we begin with the awareness. So we begin with help assisting them. I take them through a process. So I hold the energetic space and I take them through a process. I'm also an NLP certified practitioner. So I have a tool in my tool. Yes. It's just such a practical structure for energy healers to work with.
Especially when we can really get lost, you know.
Yeah. Especially when working online. Yeah, it's a great structure to keep bringing in to help take people through. So so the process is actually helping them to become aware of what is the underlying patterning that is causing the behavior that's causing them stress. So I take them through it's a 6-month program at the moment. And because I found that when I've actually had a 3-month program, they end up longer anyway. So at least in the beginning, we hold them in that container so that they can really relax into the depth of the healing work and know they're being held and supported. And there's a safety that's created in that. So that's sort of the process of them getting clear, and then there's tools and that to help them to implement the change, which is the key bit. Like, you can clear, but then it's the support to actually change that neural pathway, bring in the new, and have the support and the reflection to guide you to implement those steps now in your life, so you can create that better relationship or more joy in your family, whatever it is that your goals are. If we're changing something, I mean, I know I've needed that support, you know. So that's the process. It's from the seed of the pattern, getting the awareness of understanding that, clearing that, remembering who they are, and then beginning to look at how they can implement who they are to be more of and bring more of what they want into their world. And yes, it's very difficult to describe it because, like you said, there's so much that happens in that journey, and to actually put it into words, into a linear description, sort of limits it in itself. But I hope that sort of was clear.
Yes, and I will definitely be leaving all contact information, so you know how to get a hold of Joy Markle. You will have the links in the show notes. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I hope you are, then you get to see how beautiful and radiant she is, and all the visuals that we have over here. And in the description, all the links will be there. So trust me, you will always get a hold of her. So do you give something because healing can be a little bit scary for people too, right? I mean, I had the accident. You were birthing your biological child, and so it was like it's almost like when I say, when pain is more than gain, that's when change happens. And when you're hurting more than you can help yourself, you'll be like, all right, I need something else. So but there might be people out there who are not birthing a child, who did not have their car roll into a ditch upside down. And I know you can help them because a lot of those people I work with. So do you give them something like, can they call you and speak to you for free for like 15-20 minutes or something? Just because it's all about that connection, right? In the end, it's that connection. Do you do some?
Yeah, absolutely, Keya. I have an offer of a 45-minute actually discovery call, because I know I like to kind of really connect and get a sense of what's happening for her, my client, and or potential client, sorry. So yeah, there's no obligation call where they can book a call with me and just come on, and we can get to know each other, and I can see whether I can help them with my work, and they can see whether we're whether it's going to work for them. So we just get on and see if we're a good fit together. So that's what I offer it's an online Zoom call, like just what we're doing now, really. And
Lovely.
Yeah.
So there's some familiarity, and this is something, as sisters, as women, we need, right? There is the high tech, but there's also the high touch.
Yes.
And you need that, that a person to person, a human to human, a spirit to spirit. Somebody once asked me, so is it B2B or B2C? I said, it is H to H. It's human to human.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And I find that we're also virtual these days. Yeah.
Mhm.
And everyone's so busy. So to take that time to really connect.
Mhm.
So the other thing that I'm actually putting together is like a new moon meditation
Mhm.
activation,
Mhm.
where we can come together as a group. Um, so yeah, if anybody's interested in that, let me know, because I'd love to have people on board for that.
Lovely. Yes, send me that link too, because I do a lot of new moon and full moon stuff. So we
Okay.
could,
Oh,
collaborate. We could be
yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
share the
yeah.
space and have
Yeah.
people come and
Fantastic.
get different flavors of the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I'd love that. I'm a real moon girl, so I'd love that. Yeah. That sounds wonderful.
I was born on a
Collaboration.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's no competition. I do not believe in that at all. There's 8 billion people on the planet. When I got started, there was like around 6 billion people, and people said, honey, don't you think there is this thing? You're telling everyone so much and you're teaching. I'm like, there is no competition. There's 6 billion people. 20
Yeah.
years later, we have more than 8 billion people. There'll always be people who could use us.
2
So,
billion more in 20 years. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, can't even imagine. So,
Mm.
when someone comes to you, do they work one-on-one with you or do they work in a group setting? Tell us a little bit about that.
At the moment, I work one-on-one. I'm opening up a group program. I wanted to do a goddess program, and I was hoping to activate that on the 14th of October, because it is the goddess time. It's the Navaratri is
Oh,
time where we
mm-hmm,
honor the goddess. And I just got called to do that because my past work that I worked on the table with was balancing the divine feminine and the masculine, and I felt the energetics of that on the table. So I'm sort of getting called back into doing more of that. So I would like to do a group, if there's interest there.
mm-hmm.
But at the moment, I offer one to one program, and with the option of an additional group throughout it. So that's how I'm sort of bringing in the group. But yes, I'd love to do more group work. I've done retreats. So that's it. That's in the future, Keya, like 2024. I look at doing
Mm-hmm.
retreat and more group work again. So I'm coming back to the group, because there's so much power when you bring women a circle together, right? It's like when we're together,
Absolutely.
and we just
Yes.
magnifies the growth. And I notice a lot of my women that are working one-on-one don't want to go. They go, oh, they just want me all to themselves. So I have to explain to them, actually, when you get me in a group and you get the amazing group of women that come together, it magnifies and will support and uplift you even more. So it's an element I'm wanting to bring in pretty soon. We just have to, yeah,
Yes. So
all the time.
this is what I know because my background is also physics and math, So from physics, I came to metaphysics, in this real
Okay.
world. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know that, when one person sits and meditates alone, it's 1 to the power of 1, which is 1. But when 2 people get together, it's 2 to the power of 2, which is 4. So it's
Yeah.
like magnified. So 3 people get together, it's 3 to the power of 3. 4 people get to 4 to the power of 4. So can you imagine how exponential this is? So I know people need that sacred space of when
Yeah.
they're birthing themselves, because when they are with us, either on the table or on the energetic table
Yes.
across the planet, we are accessing the grid of the matrix of the planet to support us in our work and support the one who's coming to receive the healing and the transformation when they are at that crossroad in their life. But when you get together in this group, if 4 people get together, 4 to the power of 4 is 64. It's like
Yeah.
64
Wow.
people individually sitting and
Wow.
meditating. Now,
Yes,
just for,
I love that. I love the figures. Yes.
yes, it
4 to
is
the
so much.
power.
Yeah, and 5 to the power of 5, it's like 125. Can you believe just 5 women in a circle and 5 spots on the planet, but
Yes.
they have gathered and they have amplified their
Yes.
healing to 125. So
Yes.
you cannot beat that. And when you mention Navratri, because it's Ma Durga, so it is Divine Mother in the form of strength, Shakti.
Yes.
And she
Yes.
rides a lion.
Yes.
She rides a lion. Can you believe it? Yes, that's the power you're birthing from that darkness. And it's also an eclipse. The 14th
Yes,
is an eclipse.
right. Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes. So yes, I'd love to bring that group together on that eclipse to support accessing that
yeah,
fierceness. We
yes.
need,
And
we need
if nothing, I'll get together a bunch of friends, you get together a bunch of friends, and
yeah,
let's co-create,
yeah.
let's
Yes,
birth this and
yeah.
make it massive, because the world is so desperate for healing.
It is really desperate for healing, and I lost a friend recently that broke my heart because she didn't wasn't able to step through that darkness, and or even more so, that's made me very aware that there's people out there that just need to know that we're here for them,
Mm-hmm.
and we're here for them. So and I've been in that dark place, and I know the way through. I found my way through, and now I can help people, women, through that. So my message is, just don't stay in that. Just reach out and open up. There's so many light workers. We're here, and we're here to
Mm-hmm.
sort of open that door for you to remember the light is still here. We just need to clear up that stuff that's sort of built up, the baggage.
Yeah,
Mm.
in fact, this morning I decided, because I have written 11 books, and I'm like, and everybody
Wow,
says,
know
what's your
that.
next book going to be? What's in it? I was like, oh, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I write every day. And this morning I wrote this. It just came to me. The sun still shines.
Oh, I
That's going to
love
be that's
that.
going to be the
Yeah.
title of the book. And here is my subtitle. I'm like, since it just came out, how my darkness got me closer to light.
Oh wow, there we are.
Yes,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
wrote this, and in all this, I said, okay, I'm
Wow,
going to write this, and
beautiful.
how my darkness got me closer to light.
Wow, I love that, because it's acknowledging the shadow, isn't it? Which I think is,
Yes,
I'm so
even
passionate about that on my journey, the spiritual journey, and what I've been sort of a part of is that we've really got to explore our shadow, and that it's a shadow that can get on top of us if we don't take the time to dig deep, and bring in the light.
mhm. And not to live in that shame. There's no
Yes,
shame in that,
yes,
because one of
yes.
the things in India, when kids are little and they run out of the bathroom, they're just excited. And if they come out without their underwear, you're told, shame, shame, puppy, shame.
Oh no,
And we
wow.
grew up with this. So
Yes.
even now, when I hear the word shame, in my head, someone's voice is saying, shame, shame, puppy, shame.
Oh wow,
And
wow.
it is such a big thing. It is
Yeah.
and especially in America. I live in America. I'm born and raised in India. And we had this puritanical culture. Like, you need to
Yes.
shame everyone. You remember Scarlet Letter with the A on her chest? It's like you're forever living in the shadows, and you die in the shadows. You don't get to show up. You don't get to shine. You don't get to speak up. You don't get to share. And if you ever do, women are so insidious, they will pull you down.
Right.
Your
Okay.
own sisters will be envious of you. Your own girlfriends will be telling, no, you don't need to do so much. And they're not coming from a vindictive place. They are coming from protection. They want to protect you. They want to
Yes.
save
Yes.
you from the bad world. Like in India, like if a girl dresses up, they say, oh, just rub that lipstick.
Yes.
You know, you don't
Yes.
like, like
Yes. Yeah.
cover your head, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it is why that fear, that love is shrouded in fear, and it doesn't have to be. It
Yes.
doesn't
Exactly.
need to be.
Exactly. You
Yes.
sort of, I feel for them, and I can imagine the journey you've been on to get through all of that, because that paradigm, especially when it's in your culture, is so strong. So it's reinforced. So to actually break through and out of that takes so much courage, doesn't it? So much resilience. You've really got to step yourself up and
Yes.
out, and surround yourself then with people that actually do support you in shining. And
Yes.
wow, you look beautiful, your body's beautiful, help you come back to who you are. But it's interesting, we had that cloak is uh that culture around us, isn't it? I mean, it's in Australia, we have, it's just different, it's similar. We go through our own shame points that are projected, as a child. Yeah, every culture
Every
does.
culture, yes. And we do this, and mothers will do this to daughters, and aunties will do this to the nieces, because we are afraid of our own brilliance.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
It's
this
convenient.
is,
It's
and
like
this
convenient
is,
that helps us suppress when there's part of us that wants to stay hidden. I know that one very well. Yeah, yeah.
and and Miriam Williamson says, that one of her favorite, most famous quote, I know she has said a lot and written too many books, but this, you are afraid of your own brilliance.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that quote. It's one of my favorites. It spoke to the world, didn't it?
Yes, it spoke to the world, that even Nelson Mandela
Used
said
it,
it in
yes.
his speech. And people said, oh, this is what Nelson Mandela said. No, it was actually
No,
hers.
that's right. We're all saying, no, it was Marion.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
And because we all have that spark within us, we all have that light within us, and it's just waiting to come up. And so when you come to a healer like Joy, that's all she will do. It's like Michelangelo chipping away at whatever is not David, right? That's what I do.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Chipping away at whatever's not David. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you see the marble? I mean, and look at it and you say like, oh, this is going to be David, right?
Yeah.
So it's like having that vision. Like today, somebody, I was talking to a young man earlier, and he says, Keya, I don't know how important a vision is. I said, a vision is everything. You don't have a vision, what are you going to visualize? Someone else's vision? You need a vision for yourself, and that vision is that light within you waiting to burst out through you. If there's a discord between what you think and what you feel, it's because you are not aligned with the light within you.
Absolutely.
And that's what Joy does. That's what I do. And so what next for you, Joy? Tell us. I know you told us about how we are going to launch all these beautiful things in 2024, but for you on your personal journey, share a little bit, please.
Oh, wow. That's a big one. For my personal journey is always about being a better version of myself. So I'm still on that journey. So it's always sort of stepping into more of who I am and coming out of hiding, because there's been an element of that in my work. And that's why I'm talking to you today, because I'm being called to come out and let people know I'm here. So so that's a bit of a healing journey for me, to keep sort of stepping out and being available, and to expand into being available more for these beautiful women that are coming in and working with them. I have a daughter in London that I am planning to visit and be with and have time with. So that's really important. My mother journey still continues. She's full grown woman now, and I want to spend time with her. So constantly for me personally, it's about expanding into more of who I am, so I'm available for the life, more of life that I want. So
So in helping others heal, you're healing yourself. In healing yourself, you're helping others heal.
That's right, always. And I mean, I think you would agree, we're always on a healing journey. I mean, it's like I explained to a group recently that I worked with, that I call it the cosmic onion. It's layer after layer after layer after layer, and it keeps going. We peel one layer, because I mean, in the beginning, when people first start the healing journey, they can think, get that layer and I'm fixed. And why is there more? For me, with over 30 years in this personal development journey, there's always more. So you've just got to have the tools and the awareness. And the more you have the tools and the awareness, the more you meditate, the more you do the practices, the easier it is to drop that next layer. So yes, personally, I acknowledge I'm on that journey, and I pass it on.
Yes. So what I'm hearing you say, that healing is a forever journey. You're never completely healed, unless maybe one day you start walking on water, and then you can call us and say, hey, I have been walking on water, Joy. Hey, I've been walking on water, Keya. come over and I'll teach you how.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's about remembering to play for us, isn't it? So yeah, so that's personally, it's how can life be full of more joy, more play? And for me, it's being with children and families, and I love hanging out with children because they're the best teachers of play. Yes, they take us
Absolutely.
right back there. So building those sort of relationships with friends and family.
I know you and I met like over the last 3 months, and I know our journey will go on. There are no accidents. There are absolutely no accidents. So I know we will have more of these conversations. Some of them will be just you and I, some of them will share with the rest of the world. So here, before we wrap up today,
Okay, thanks, Keya.
tell me, what is it that you would like to leave the audience with, whoever is listening in right now? What is it that you can give them that will give them some hope
Mm,
for that
mm,
healing, for whatever the
mm,
challenge is going on in their life, for this beautiful, radiant soul, this mama, this woman, the
mm,
sister who is there,
mm,
who wants it for herself, but still there might be some doubts.
mm,
And that is why she's already not working with you or me. So what is it that you can give her that will tell her that, yeah, I'm not alone. I can do this. And joy is here.
Beautiful, beautiful. The words that come to me immediately are reach out. So it's reaching out to someone that can be there for you and listen. So finding your listening buddy, your listening partner,
Mhm.
um, in any way you can. I really know we can't do this alone, and we need to reach out and connect. And like you said, high touch, whether that's with a therapist or a friend or a new friend, or but the second thing that comes to me is nature. Nature is the way for us to heal and connect. And if we remember the power of nature, we get out to that nature spot. Even if you're in a city, you can find that nature spot. I've got clients in Hong Kong, and there's nature spots there, believe it or not. There's a lot of nature there actually when you know how to find it. Make the effort and just sit in nature and sit down and just really let nature fill you up. Invite it to help you to release and just expand and let go in that space. So if there isn't a person, sometimes there isn't a person at that moment, that will actually understand and support and hold in that space, but nature will, nature can. So find your sacred place in nature that you can go to and sit with yourself, cry, release, and let
Mhm.
nature be your friend. That's what
Mhm.
was it. There's been moments in my life when there isn't somebody I feel like I can
Mhm.
be with, but I can go and sit by my tree or sit on the beach and just come back to that beauty.
Mhm.
Their life is beautiful. So get into a place where you can remember that.
Yeah, even if it's your neighborhood park,
Yes.
even if it's your neighborhood park, you can do it. And if you are a person who says like, I have no neighborhood park, go to a grocery store and buy a potted plant and sit next to it. Sit next to it. Let that be the beginning. Put it in by your windowsill and sit
Yes.
next to it every day and journal.
Yes.
That could be a
Beautiful.
great start.
And nurture the plant.
Yes.
Nurture the plant. Yeah, give to the plant. Nurture. When you're actually giving to something or someone else, that will also help move your energy, move your chi, and get things flowing again. So who can I give to today? Who can I serve today? Sometimes you absolutely can't do that, but it can be just watering the plant, just spending time in the garden. Mm.
Yes, and one plant is a great start. And you may be like, oh, I kill my plants. Get a succulent. Get a succulent. You don't have to water it just once a month, a teaspoon, and it'll be fine. Get a succulent, but
or,
do
or
that.
or meditate. If you are in a practice of meditation, sit in meditation and take yourself into a nature spot.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Joy, so much blessings to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up today and being part of this conversation. I know we will do so much more. next weekend. Let's connect after this call and see how we can bring more women into this goddess circle so they can unleash the goddess within them and claim their godhood,
Thank you.
the creator within them.
The feminine is rising, and we're just a model right now of collaboration. This is actually what we all need to be doing now. So thank you for bringing that into the space. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Lots of love.
Love. Thank you.
Anywhere I'd be here with you, sharing our healing hearts, our hope and our truth. Joy overflows here at the crossroads. Here at the crossroads. Oh, here at the crossroads.